Thank you, Madam Chair. Earlier in September, the President announced that FDA intends to finalize a policy in the coming weeks to clear the market of flavored e-cigarettes until products undergo full pre-market review. And while I certainly agree with the statement Dr. Sharpless made that we must act swiftly against flavored e-cigarette products, I am disappointed that it's taken so long to get to this point. E-cigarettes have been available for purchase for over a decade, and it's been over 3 years since they were brought under the regulatory authority of FDA. And during this time, the e-cigarette market has dramatically expanded and has become more attractive and accessible to children and teens. E-cigarette use amongst middle and high school students has risen sharply, with preliminary data released last week demonstrating that a third of 12th graders are e-cigarette users. And I agree that clearing the market of flavors could help reduce youth utilization of e-cigarettes, and raising the minimum purchase age for tobacco to 21 could also help reduce youth access. But these steps in isolation aren't enough. It's my strong belief that Congress must take comprehensive action, and I now have some questions about FDA's guidance and our need to do more. So first, let me start with Dr. Sharpless. It's my understanding that FDA intends to outline the administration's policy to prohibit the sale of non-tobacco flavored products through guidance. Is that correct, yes or no?
That is correct.
Dr. Sharpless, FDA guidance, in my opinion, lacks the permanence and legal force of a statute or a formal rule issued by the agency. Is that correct?
To be clear, we will, the guidance will just allow us, will describe how we're going to enforce existing law. So these products are illegal, and we're just announcing how we're going to prioritize enforcement of existing law.
So, but do you disagree that the guidance lacks the permanence and legal force of a statute or a formal rule issued by the agency?
Well, the products are illegal by the act of Congress, so...
so you're saying that with the guidance, you will now enforce the underlying law?
Right. The guidance will describe our enforcement policies.
Well, what kind of steps can the FDA take to ensure that the industry is complying with this flavored tobacco prohibition, given what you just said?
Sure. The FDA has experience with this kind of problem. Generally, we send warning letters to the legitimate retailers and manufacturers. They will come into compliance, and usually, and then that will have a dramatic effect to the products on the market.
Well, I still don't understand how you force them to comply with the guidance.
The way it works is we send a warning letter. It says that your product is no longer, subject to enforcement discretion, and at that time we expect it to be removed from the market, any flavored products.
And if they don't?
Then we have a number of other activities that escalate, further warning letters, civil money penalties. We actually, manufacturers, we can seize.
And you intend to impose those enforcement measures?
What's that, I'm sorry?
You would impose those fines and those other enforcement measures?
For manufacturers, it's usually an injunction, yes, but we would impose those if needed.
Okay. Let me ask, the proposed flavor ban included mint and menthol flavored products. Can you commit that these flavors will remain part of the compliance guidance when it's finalized?
I can't describe what's going to come out in a future and a guidance we're working on with certainty. I can tell you that the data suggest that mint and menthol are very popular with children, and if the intent of the policy is to...
But I mean, you're not committed that that's going to be part of the compliance when it's finalized?
Well, the compliance guidance will be out in weeks, and I think we will.
Well, it sounds like you're saying you're not committed to it, unfortunately. I just think the only way we can realistically verify that tobacco products, both flavored and non-flavored, don't flow to children is through direct, this question is about face-to-face sales. I think the only way that you can verify that tobacco products, whether they're flavored or non-flavored, don't flow to kids is through direct face-to-face sales. And my bill would ban the sale to online and other, would ban online and other remote sales. So can you commit that any guidance banning the sale of the flavored e-cigarettes would extend to online and other remote sales?
The guidance we envision would extend to all retail channels, so online and in-person sales.
Okay. Now, as I understand it, there are reports of as many as 3 million distinct e-cigarette products currently available for sale in the U.S. Does the FDA face any resource or capacity challenges in monitoring the e-cigarette market to be able to enforce the agency's existing authorities?
So, as you know, the Center for Tobacco Products, FDA, is entirely funded off user fees. E-cigarette products do not pay a user fee, as in contradistinction to other tobacco products. I think a a user fee program for e-cigarettes would be helpful to the FDA to enforce these activities as you described.
Are those user fees that you're receiving now available for monitoring e-cigarettes?
We are using the appropriate monies for our activities related to tobacco products.
What about the user fees?
I'm sorry, sir?
What I'm trying to find out is if the money you're getting from user fees is available for monitoring e-cigarettes, or you're just using the money from appropriated sources.
No, the money we're getting for user fees is available for the use of monitoring e-cigarettes.
All right. Thank you.